If you're a B2B SaaS or tech founder trying to figure out why your client acquisition isn't converting the way it should, this video is for you. Whether you're at 20K, 100K, or even 500K a month in revenue, the gaps in your client acquisition system are costing you deals you should already be closing, and that's exactly what we're gonna fix today. In this video, I'm gonna break down the 5 strategies that are closing deals for tech companies right now. We're gonna cover why most founders lose deals they should be winning, the exact framework we use to fix it, and how to implement all of it without a dedicated sales team or expensive tooling. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear, actionable system for turning more of your pipeline into paying clients without burning budget on tactics that don't convert or relying on referrals that are never quite enough to hit your growth targets. So let's get into it. Strategy number 1 is you need to stop selling your software and start selling the outcome it provides. Think about the last demo your team ran that felt like it went well, and then that prospect just went completely cold. Chances are you spent most of that call walking through the product, the features, the integrations, the roadmap, and while you're doing all of that, your prospect was trying to figure out one single thing, and that's, is this gonna fix my problem? And that's it. That's the reason they're on the call. They're not buying your dashboard, they're buying a solution to a painful problem they have right now. And to get over that, I use a framework called the reality gap method with every client we work with. And the method goes like this. Step 1 is define their current reality. So where are they now, what's the friction, and what's it costing them? Step 2 is define their desired future reality. So what does success actually look like in concrete, measurable terms? And then step 3 is position your product as the bridge between the two. Simple as that. When you do this well, you stop sounding like a rep running through a slide deck and start sounding like a consultant who actually gets it. That shift alone changes the entire energy of the sales conversation. And to maximize that sales conversation, strategy 2 is to run your discovery like you're a doctor. Because the moment you start pitching, the prospect's guard goes up. It's natural, because now they're wondering, is this person here to help me, or are they just here to sell me something? Think about the last time you went to the doctor. They didn't prescribe you something the second you sat down. They asked you questions, they listened, they dug deeper, and only once they had a complete picture did they offer a solution. That's the most effective sales approach in existence. And as you start acting like a doctor, there are 5 core things to confirm on every discovery call. The first is pain. What's the real underlying problem, not the surface level version? What are they doing on this call? Why did they opt in? The second is what's the trigger? Why do they want to solve it right now? What's changed? And the third is ROI. Does the math make sense? And have you made that math visible to them? The fourth core element is budget. Is this investment even possible for them? We obviously don't want to be dealing with prospects that can't afford our solution. And if they can't afford the solution, then the final step is BAM FAM, which means book a meeting from a meeting. Get a specific time and date in both calendars before the call ends. Not send me some more info, you actually want a confirmed meeting. I went to the dentist last week. I've got my next appointment booked for October already. They didn't let me leave without getting that lined up because they want me to come back. This is where most SaaS deals are won or lost. It's not in the proposal, but it's in the actual discovery. And once you nail discovery, ties into strategy 3, and that's around follow-up, which you need to be doing properly every single time. And that's because most buyers are gonna say no 4 times before they say yes. And most founders don't even follow up once. I had a client who will keep anonymous for now so we can talk real numbers, but let's call him Chris. And Chris runs a B2B SaaS tool in the go-to-market space. Some of you watching this video might even be doing the same thing. But before working together, Chris had 50 or so prospects go through a demo in the previous 30 days. So he was actually doing pretty decent numbers. And nearly all of the prospects had shown genuine interest that showed up to the demo, but then they just went dark. So naturally, I looked into Chris's process and he was rarely booking follow-up calls on the call. Again, no BAM FAM. And he had sent 1 follow-up afterwards at most for these prospects. And if he didn't hear back on that 1 follow-up, he'd just write him off. And Chris was doing $60K per month already at this point. He wasn't some newbie business owner. So when we came in, we added a simple re-engagement sequence, and of the 50 demos, 16 were already closed. So he had a decent close rate. Again, not some newbie business owner. Another 11 were marked as lost, just wasn't a fit. So we followed up with the 23 prospects who didn't respond over multiple touch points. And of those 23, 9 responded, and of those 9, 5 closed. And those 5 closed deals gave Chris multiple thousands in new MRR from prospects he had just given up on in the last 30 days. So my question to you is, what do you think is hiding in your pipeline right now? Are you actually following up with prospects in the way you should be? If you're not, also great because I'm about to break it down for you. There's two types of follow-up that matters. The first is the value follow-up. What you really want to avoid is just checking in messages. Send something useful, whether that be a case study or relevant insight, or even just a framework that addresses the exact problem you discussed before, then ask for a specific next step. And what you want to avoid is generic, just checking in messages. Send something that's actually useful, whether that be a relevant insight, a case study, or just a framework that addresses the exact problem you had discussed previously, then ask for a specific next step. Every touch point should aim to provide value and move the deal forward. And the second type of follow-up is nearly the complete opposite of that, but that's the breakup email. So when someone's gone completely cold, send one final message. Just start off with their name. Looks like the timing on this might not be right. No worries, I'll just leave this here. You'd be surprised by how often that single message reactivates more cold prospects than almost anything else, just because it releases the pressure and gives them space to tell you what's actually blocking the deal. Then strategy 4 is you need to kill objections before they kill your deal. Let's say the discovery goes well, you talk numbers, and then they say, I just need to think about it. Now that is a pretty common objection, but it didn't just come from nowhere, it was building the entire time. And there was a moment earlier in the call where it could have been dissolved completely. The best salespeople don't overcome objections at the very end, they prevent them from forming in the first place. And that's because they understand that every objection falls into one of 3 categories. The first one is circumstance. So is it time, budget, or priorities? The second is other people. I need to loop in the CTO. I need to speak to my wife. The board needs to sign off. And then the third is self-doubt. We've tried this before and it didn't work. So with your prospects, identify the category early and address those objections proactively. If a prospect mentions a failed tool early in the call, ask what went wrong and what would need to be different this time. Now they're telling you how to handle their own objection. And by the time you reach the close, the objection's already dead. And strategy 5 is to ask for business directly. This is almost embarrassingly simple, and it's probably the most common reason SaaS companies lose deals they should be winning is because they simply don't ask for the business. Now, after you've confirmed the pain, the trigger, the ROI, and the budget, close with what I call a micro close. And it's super simple, it's just 2 sentences. Based on everything we've just covered, doesn't make sense to get started. It's not pushy, it's not manipulative, it's just a direct question that forces a yes or no. If they say yes, move to next steps immediately. If they hedge, ask what would need to be in place for you to say yes, then stop talking, let them answer, and that answer should tell you exactly what's blocking the deal. And 9 times out of 10, it's something you can address right there on the call, then loop back in the micro close and repeat until you get a clear answer either way. The only outcome you can't accept here is a maybe. It needs to be a yes or no because maybes aren't going to grow your revenue. That's probably the reason you're watching this video is because your growth has plateaued because of too many maybes. So those are the 5 strategies that will transform how your tech company attracts and closes deals. But there's something I didn't tell you at the start of this video, unfortunately. To make the most out of everything I just gave you, you'll actually want to install a full client acquisition engine that makes all of these strategies work together as one connected system. And if you want to take a look at that, click on this video right here. If you want the complete breakdown of how to build a predictable pipeline for your tech company, where I walk through the entire system end to end. And if you want to work with us directly at Ascension to install this system for you, just click the first link in the description to apply, and I will see you in the next one.